Namaskaram. Welcome to day 91 of the Save Soil journey. So, two big events happened today: the Bengaluru event and the Mysore event. Mysore event, I think it's still, going on. Maybe it'll end in few minutes. So, I had the opportunity to volunteer, and if you had been following our social media, we posted quite a few updates since yesterday. And still more we may post a few more updates. We had recorded a lot of stuff, so I hope you were able to see the journey through the lens of so many people who have posted about the program, their experience volunteering, the participants sharing, and obviously the live event which you may have seen either in person or online. So it was wonderful just seeing how we can make this happen through the efforts of so many volunteers. If you're just watching this from the comfort of your home, you may think that how these things are happening, and event of such a big scale, how it is being organized, and it may appear that it's quite it's quite a feat. But all these things, this is not something which just happens just like that. These things are planned and planned. The way the planning happens, it's so meticulous that every little detail, where where the footwear should be, where the should be, how the car should enter, how the car should leave, how the chair should be stacked, how many chairs can fit in one row. If you have ever volunteered for a mega program, you will see the amount of planning, and you will see that it utilizes all your all these skills which you may be thinking about, whether it's knowledge of design, architecture, management, forecasting, estimation, everything in terms of what you may have read in your books. Here in an event, if you come and be a part of it, you'll see how these things are put in action, and how it happens. Just you'll feel like it's happening so effortlessly, but when you just step inside and see how it's going on, you'll see that it's not that everything is happening without any hitch, but it's just that it's just happening in a way that you just can't believe that it is happening through you. It's just that it feels like you keep thinking whether it'll happen or not, but somehow it looks like so chaotic that okay, this is not in place, this is not in place, this is not in place, but somehow it still happens. So that is how the experiences of mega programs. And this reminds me how Sadhguru was mentioning that if you happen to see an Isha program, you'll see, or even if you volunteer for Isha, you'll see that how just a few fundamentals are set in place. Rest, everything is kind of very loose, so that it doesn't become like a rigid organization where people don't apply themselves much, and they just see that okay, it's something which they can do without thinking much, without, it's just like automatically things happen. So here it doesn't happen that way. You may have thought about so many things, but at the last moment something else comes up, and then the plans change, and then you have to think on your feet and see how you can execute. So many things are there. So it was for those of you who volunteered for the first time, or for those of you who've been volunteering, you may have noticed this, that how things were happening, and such a huge event. It's just something, it's just happening with some grace, that so many different teams coming together and making this happen. Even established organizations who are into event management, even they may struggle with the scale of stuff which needs to be handled. But here with just volunteers, how it is happening. So it was wonderful to just be a part of this in the last 2 days, to see to see it, to also meet so many people in person. who had been following our journey online, or they were connected in some way. It was nice to meet so many of them in person. So it's really wonderful. If ever you get an opportunity to volunteer for a mega program like this, for a big event like this will actually be very humbling in so many ways for you, because you'll just realize that the amount of dedication and effort which the volunteers put in, without thinking about what time they're going to sleep, what time they're going to wake up. I was just thinking that in just 2 days time, the kind of schedules which people had. Imagine the team which is working since last 90 days every day, and imagine Sadhguru's schedule. So that's something which is really incomprehensible, how they may be managing such a difficult schedule. And it's not just one event. Most of us, we get just tired after one event, thinking of we have done so much, we've been doing so much activity, and this is happening non-stop since last 90 days. It's really incredible. So I just hope that all of you were able to experience some part of this, and if you were, it's something which may have definitely touched you. So just another few more days left, and there's a event happening in Coimbatore, the culmination event on June 21st, the International Day of Yoga. So please see how you can be a part of this. And last few days we had been covering about the yatras, about the different kinds of yatras which we have at Isha. We were speaking about the Himalayan yatras, the Kailash Yatra, Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. So today I thought that I'll speak about the other yatras as well, which are offered at Isha. So there are also other yatras like the Kashi Krama Yatra, which is a sojourn to Kashi, and which is considered as one of the most, it's considered as one of the most sacred and ancient spiritual centers in the world. So this is something which happens for about 5 days or so. This particular sojourn. There is also another yatra which is organized by the Isha Sacred Walks team, which is called as the Southern Sojourn, Sojourn, which happens where they take you to some famous South Indian temples, like the Arunachaleshwara temple, the Ramana Maharishi's ashram, and Jambukeshwar temple, then Sadguru Sri Brahma's ashram in Trichy, then some temples in Tanjavur, Rameshwaram temple, Dhanushkodi. So they take you to these powerful ancient spaces, and you get to appreciate that how South Indian temples were crafted for one's inner well-being, and the beauty and the way the things have been designed. It's just marvelous. If you just happen to visit any South Indian ancient temple, you'll see that if you just look at the ceiling or the carvings, etc., it'll just be something which is mind-blowing. The kind of intricate designs and everything, it's very hard to even come across anything which is close to this right now. So, and these are powerful spaces, like some of them were like consecrated for a particular element, like the water element, which is more than 72% in our system, or some of them are consecrated for the fire element. So basically one had to spend some time in these spaces to to kind of cleanse and ignite these elements. So these are very powerful spaces. So this happens in the Southern Sojourn, then Southern Sacred Walks. Then there's one more sojourn which is for the Chamundi Yatra, where Sadhguru got enlightened, the Chamundi Hill. So they take you to that place, that spot where Sadhguru got enlightened, and some places nearby. So these are some of the other yatras which are organized. So I haven't gone to these places through the yatra team. Chamundi, yes, I have been a couple of times on my own. So that's something I've done many times where I visited that spot where Sadhguru spent time on that rock, and where he got it lightened. So if you happen to visit Mysore, you should see if you can go to Chamundi Hill. Even if you're not going for the yatra, you can even visit this on your own. It's something which is, you can find if you go to Chamundi Hill. And since this is something where Sadhguru was also born in Mysore, so there are a lot of memories connected with Chamundi Hill, which Sadhguru speaks about. He may have spoken about this in various books and videos. So it's really nice to go there and imbibe these spaces. And regarding the southern sojourn, where they take you to these South Indian temples, again I have not gone on this yatra with the Isha Sacred Walks team, but many of these spaces I have covered on my own, like the water temple in Trichy, or the Sadhguru Sri Brahma's ashram in Trichy, and the Rameshwaram temple also I visited. So some other temples I have not visited. Maybe I'll see if I can get a chance, especially the Arunachaleshwara temple, Ramana Maharishi's ashram. So a lot of people who have gone for this yatra, they have spoken that it was really touching for them. So you can even check this out and see if these spaces, because they are very significant spaces, you can see how you can visit them once. And regarding the Kashi Yatra, this is something I think you may have already heard much. Sadhguru has spoken so much about Kashi, and how it was designed, how it was structured, the way the whole city was consecrated. It was like if someone just wanted the liberation, they always knew that they have to come to Kashi. And it was like considered like a tradition, like if people, towards the end of their lives, they always, wanted to come to Kashi and spend that last phase of their life. So he was speaking that at certain point of time there were, so many hundreds of enlightened beings walking around Kashi. That whole city was something which is, it's marvelous. So this is also, if you go to Kashi, you will see like it's literally lined with temples all over the place. And there are some places which are very significant. Also the Manikarnika Ghat, which is like a crematorium, mass crematorium. So many things in Kashi. So this is also something you can try to experience sometime. I want to visit this is there on my list. Hope to visit this soon, the spaces in Kashi. And I think this year also they are organizing a yatra over there, where Sadhguru will also have a satsang on his enlightenment day in Kashi. So you can check out these details. I'll share the links to these yatras in the description, so you can take a look at them. And if you wish to go through the Isha team, or if you wish to go on your own and explore, so these are spaces you should try to see, because these are very spiritually significant spaces. And it can definitely be transformative for a person to visit these spaces. So if you have been to any of these yatras, it would be nice to hear your experience, how it was for you. So please share with us. And also, if you volunteered for the Bangalore program or the Mysore program or any other mega program, do share with us, how your experience was, if you were volunteering, which team you were, and how it went for you. It would be nice to hear from you. Or even if you attended as a participant, how was your experience attending the program, and going through the proceedings, hearing and seeing Sadhguru live. So it would be nice to hear from all of you. So please do share in the comments, and I hope to hear from many of you. Namaskar.